Today I want to talk about how to hold your mandrel and where the fingers should really be positioned while you scrape on your reed. And so a lot of this is going to help you navigate your technique and the angles that you scrape with your knife. But if we just take this reed, for example, and I put my plaque in there so you could see, I'm often using my pointer finger a lot to help see how thin or where the thick areas are in my tip. And so I just angle up like this. Now, when I'm not doing that, my finger's not just willy-nilly doing nothing back here. My pointer finger's actually got a very important job, and it's providing stability for the reed. So I like to leave my pointer finger, whether it's a blank or it's further along and I'm in the finishing stage. So here's a blank. I'm still going to leave my pointer finger behind the reed. Now notice the rest of my hand. I spread out my fingers just a little bit, kind of like they're loose, but they're not gripping. So I never want to grip my mandrel because that's going to create so much tension and can cause issues later on, which you do not want. But notice the positioning. So I've got my balance points. So my pointer finger and the reed, and then my other fingers here. So my pinky will wrap around the top of the mandrel, and then the mandrel kind of sits at the corner of my hand here at the bottom. So this is kind of what works for me, and what works for you might be a little different. Obviously, if you're left-handed, you're going to hold it in this hand, but also if you have bigger or smaller hands than me. I actually have pretty large hands, so my spread might be a little bit wider than you are physically able to do. So you just have to find something that works for you. Maybe you move your hands up a little bit more. But whatever you're doing, you're creating balance points. And one of them needs to be this pointer finger behind your blank. Because if you wrap it around like this and you're just scraping willy-nilly this way, you have no support, and you're also muscling and straining your wrist right here. But if you have stability, then you can work in the tip or anywhere else in the reed and be able to pinpoint with your thumb and your knife. Your thumb's going to guide your knife like this, but you'll be able to pinpoint exactly where you want to take cane off. So having your pointer finger there is going to provide you more stability in what you're doing. Because without it, remember, you have to figure out what to do with this finger. So I've seen people do this before, and I don't think it's safe either, because you could easily just slice into your finger, which no one needs a hospital visit, and we all need our fingers to play. So utilize this support of your pointer finger. Now, with that said, you don't want to push super hard because you don't want to push your reed and break it in half. So what I like to do is I just rest the reed on top of it. I've got my balance points right here at the bottom where the mandrel sits, and right here, and then these two fingers just kind of act as a little support holding it down, and this finger a little bit too. And then I'll just scrape. So I'm not pressing. It's really the weight of the knife is the amount of pressure that's down. All right. So let's just demo that. Now, so that's for a blank. If you have your mandrel in there, or your plaque in there rather, and you're trying to finish a reed, then I like to leave my finger right behind the tip. And while I'm not working far back on my knife, as I know some people do, I think you could do that this way too. Just, you never want to, angle the knife so you're going to cut into your finger, right? But being right on the point of my knife means I can be super exact. And I'm not going off of it in case you're worried about, hitting your finger with your knife. So in general, I like to use the couple top millimeters of my knife because that just helps me to be super pinpointed in what I'm doing. Yeah, that looks good. And then also that pointer finger's job, like I said earlier, it helps you to just easily check and see, okay, what does my tip look like right now? Yeah. So if you are not already doing that, using your pointer finger to help support the reed, then I recommend trying it out because you're going to feel more in control. You're going to be able to create more precise strokes because you can really use the connection of your knife to your thumb to let your thumb help guide the way with what you're doing, and you'll be more pinpointed. When you see me scrape, you'll notice I always have the top of my knife on my thumb, and it's really pressing in there so much it makes a little divot, but it's super duper controlled. Yeah, so I hope that was helpful. If you have any questions, let me know below. See you next time.